What's up guys, I'm Joe, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since I last posted. As you may be able to tell if you've been following, I moved, so I'm in a new place now, hoping to get back to regularly, somewhat scheduled videos, or at the very least trying to keep up with new releases again. So to get back into the swing of things, I have a track roundup for you guys today, talking about some new stuff that's out there. Up first is Greta Van Fleet with Watching Over. This is the latest single from the band's upcoming release, their first full-length album. They did an EP early on, a double EP that I did review on this channel. And what's funny is I did really actually enjoy that EP, but I did of course talk about the Led Zeppelin comparisons, as most people do when it comes to this band. And it's funny, a lot of people seem to think that I didn't like it, or that I was saying it was a bad thing that they sound like Led Zeppelin. I was more so just grappling with whether it was too much, too little. Ultimately, I kind of land on the side of, I just like that people are excited about a rock band again, which is pretty cool. And what I did like was, on that double EP, some of the newer tracks, they were kind of taking in other 60s and 70s influences, more so than the very specific Zeppelin sound like you would hear on Highway Tune or Safari Song. And so far for this new record that's coming out, this is where they seem to be going. Of course, they kind of have those comparisons there, but they are expanding their sound a bit, so they're not so fixated on that one single influence. Whether they mean to do it or not, those first couple songs they did come out with, you can't really deny the Led Zeppelin comparisons. I think you can only really say, hey, I don't really care about that, I'm just going to enjoy the band for what it is, or if you think it sounds too much like them, then you don't really like it. So this song, Watching Over, is pretty cool, because it starts with that kind of House of the Rising Sun or Babe I'm Gonna Leave You chord progression. As the song goes on, though, there are a lot of changes that come into play. Those pre-choruses have some really cool psychedelic guitar sounds, and as you get into the choruses there is a much harder rock influence coming in there, more of a gritty sound than what we've heard from the band so far, and I think that's pretty cool. There are some nice groovy bass lines throughout this thing, a nice focus on the lead guitar as far as soloing and just melodies go, something that I wanted to see the band kind of hone in on a bit more. Yeah, so overall, I'm liking the direction of the two tracks we've heard so far from the upcoming record. When the Curtain Falls as well was really cool, had a great riff to it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see how the album goes, how the fan reaction is, and to see if this band is going to keep building this momentum. It's pretty exciting to watch. Up next we have Why So Serious from Alice Merton. I reviewed her EP as well in one of my quick thought videos. You know, Alice is up and coming. She had the song No Roots, which is something I'm starting to hear just about everywhere I go. Which it is a fun song, very catchy, good groove to it. And here on Why So Serious is a similar kind of formula, with this sort of funky guitar, catchy, almost chanty chorus that'll get quickly stuck in your head. Will probably be really good for live shows. And for fans of Florence and the Machine, this is someone to look out for. But as I said, has a sort of funkier, bouncy, playful side to her music as well. Overall, more of a pop sound than the 5 tracks on the EP, I would say. But overall, pretty good song. I do like this one. So definitely look out for Alice Merton. She'll have a full length coming out in the fall, I believe. Up next we have Lawrence with Make a Move. This is a sibling-led band. Clyde Lawrence on the keys and vocals, Gracie Lawrence singing. Just a great big band. They're coming out of New York City. They're starting to make a lot of waves, especially around there, selling out shows. They're touring all over. They were opening for Lake Street Dive, if you know them. Very funky, groovy sound to them. They have a horn section that accents the music quite well. Really just incredible musicians all around. And the singing chops on the both of them are just fantastic. Here you have Gracie leading the charge and the vocals. The song Make a Move. Very subtle instrumentation throughout. The groove really builds on you. The keys start to come in with these really nice chord changes. And once it finally builds to this funky, groovy horn-led part, kind of jazzy at times, it just really kicks in and it really gets the song going. But that build-up is definitely worth it, and there's a lot of really catchy moments throughout, especially the chorus, that has me going back to the song over and over. Pretty fun music video too. The band has a really cool sense of humor. Their videos are always a lot of fun. This will be their second record coming out in just about a week, I think. So if you haven't heard them, definitely check it out. The band's called Lawrence. Up next we have Muse with The Dark Side. I don't usually listen to this many singles from a record. This is like the 4th one they've released now, but I think it's just because it's been so spread out. Dig Down was sometime last year, I think, the first single from the album. But I gotta say, I haven't been all that excited about really any of the tracks on this one. And I do like my fair share of Muse stuff, even when they did change it up. The Second Law, not a bad album. Drones, which was supposed to be their kind of return to the heavy rock stuff, had some really good moments, some standout moments, but otherwise had like a decent amount of filler on that record, so I didn't think it was quite so successful of going back to that old sound. And here with this new album, Simulation Theory, it's called, they're pushing the electronic stuff again. There's definitely an 80s retro vibe. You could just see in the album cover, it kind of looks like Stranger Things or something. And yeah, here you have a lot of synths, you have a lot of electronic melodies going on here. The song is just so okay. And that's how I feel about like Thought Contagion, which is probably my favorite so far of the new ones. It's just very okay. Dig Down I wasn't a fan of. It just really didn't go anywhere for me. And The Dark Side has a similar kind of problem. It doesn't build, it doesn't go anywhere, it just kind of plays itself straight all the way through. Which I think Muse is at their best when they are building to something and just, keep the energy rolling throughout. This is a song I could easily hear, in a more heavy setting, like look at some of their older albums like Absolution. If they had played around with the instrumentation or with the arrangement a little bit more like they normally would with songs, I think it would be more interesting. I think it would be worth it to kind of stick around for the whole track. Here it just kind of plays itself out, doesn't change up too much, despite having a decent foundation. It just doesn't get anywhere for me. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking out the album, probably buying it because I have most of their records. But I'm not all that excited about what I've heard so far from it. And since there are only 11 tracks total, I don't know how much will really be different in comparison to these 4 singles. And finally for this video, we have Behemoth with Wolves of Siberia from their upcoming record, the long-awaited follow-up to The Satanist. This song is very short and to the point, very heavy opening. Personally, my favorite part of the song is when it goes into that sort of driving anthem-like section. I got to hear that song live. They were opening for Slayer over the summer, and that was just really awesome, and it kind of stuck with me. I've been waiting for the studio version to come out. What I like about the song is it's just, obviously like punishingly heavy as usual with this band, but the guitars and the drums complement each other. They're very percussive in nature, both the riffs and, of course, the drums. But with that really just hitting you over the head with those riffs. It has such like an epic quality to it. Like I said, it breaks into that very driving, anthemic section towards the middle of the song to the end, which is just really awesome. So definitely looking forward to that album as well. So yeah, like I said, we should be back to, a regular amount of videos at this point. All moved into this new place. Let me know what you think of these tracks in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.